Hi all and welcome back to SandchessVB with head coach Frederick, myself, and I'm the head coach because it's just me. And today we have another episode of what not to do, this time as a defender. And let's dive into the outline. So not dive into the topic yet. We will see the chronological order, and then we'll dive in using the software tool, Homegrown. So we will talk about what happens before the serve, during the serve until the reception, as the play develop, and then hitters approach, and when we get the ball back, and after that into the transition. So what not to do as a defender: chronological order before the serve. Well, not knowing your opponent. Well, sometimes you won't know. If you play pickup games, if you've never seen that guy, well, you'll learn, hopefully, as the game happens. Now, you can ask your partner if he knows anything about the other team or any of the players. And that's always good information. Okay, then the other silly mistake would be to not give a blocking call if your blocker is serving. Maybe at amateur level, a lot of split blocking is happening, but eventually, especially if you're short like me, you'll probably end up playing D and let someone else block for you. So don't forget. Don't forget anyway, a good server will tell you what am I supposed to block. A good blocker serving. Okay, so after that, let's see, during the serve, okay, and we will go back to this scene. Okay, the first thing I have listed here is what? Is to admire your serve. So let's go in here, and this time you're serving, and your serve is so good. So your team is on top. Your serve is so good, you're just looking at it and you're not moving. Imagine they scramble a pass and then it goes over on one. And let me grab the ball, not the dude. Come on. I really need to change this. And let's say the ball goes back in here. You admired your serve and then you're not going to make it. And instead of playing a point up with as an uphill battle, you lose it. Okay, what's next? What's next is, well, starting the point too far on one side. So let's just say you just served and you serve, let's say the guy cross court, and with your blocker supposedly blocking line. So you're getting ready as a cross court dig. A problem with that is that if you position yourself expecting the play to develop properly, well, the other team can abuse this and exploit this. And if they see you exaggerating on that cross-court dig, they may end up maybe playing a two ball. So if they see you, they might end up hitting a two ball away from you. And even if you can read it, you may be too late to react and get a dig. Okay, what's the next point? The next point is, and what's happening? I'm not sick. Not reading the passer and the setter. Okay. Not reading the passer and the setter. Okay, so if all right. Depending on what's happening, and let's keep that example of the standard, your blocker is going to block line and you're going to block and to dig cross court. And by the way, this is you in the defense and this is the offense as attacker and setter. Sorry to forget to remind you that. So everybody has a different letter here. Defender, blocker, attacker, setter. So anyway, we are at not reading the passer and setter. So what could happen if the passer shanks it and then the ball goes, let's say, hard on the other side, let's say. Still playable, but not standard in like the middle or in front of the passer. So maybe in this case, even assuming your blocker is somewhat ready and following and tracking that ball, if let's say that second player, which should be the setter, has to scramble and ends up maybe doing this kind of approach like this, and suddenly he's undo. I'm gonna have to remove this, but suddenly he's facing maybe this way, and can I shorten that direction? Yeah. Then maybe just hitting the ball onto oopsie, undo as a sharp angle becomes an easy play. So if you haven't adjusted to that, and in this case move toward this zone, well, then you're giving that up and essentially inviting him to score an easy point when it was a bad pass. We can describe a number of different situations, but essentially you need to look at what's happening on the other side, which give or take is similar to the next point. I have it as not constantly adjusting one's position as the play is progressing. So as you're reading what's happening, well, both players in the defense need to adjust to what's happening. No matter what the call, you need to adjust. So again, let's say that the attacker here, the left side player of the offense, is we're supposed to block him line. If we block, well, then the play has moved significantly. Let's do that, and suddenly he's going to hit a ball coming at that angle, because that's all they can scramble to save. Okay, so let's just assume that either you guys, the defense knows that he's going to stick to his block, or that the blocker show with the well-known butt slap that he's still going to take this side. Okay, so let's take a look. The blocking zone will be here. Okay, now what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do as a defender? So as you're seeing the hitter approaching, you will get some cues. Maybe he's actually going to attack it a little bit more this way, or a little bit less. And of course, depending on how tight the set is and how fast the approach is, you may decide to get ready to either dive into whatever is left of the court. So in theory, the blocker takes line, supposed to take this side, and you have the cross, I guess, not really cross anymore. Or you could get a read and maybe think that, oh my God, he's actually turning more and more the other way. So maybe I'll lean more toward this side of the court, and because there's a lot more, it's harder to hit, but there's a lot more room. But again, that you should not just blindly go there. Everything, even things like the wind, might affect what that guy can do or cannot do. And you don't want to just blindly walk there and allow the hitter to just send his partner, but not send himself, send the ball somewhere here. Doesn't even have to be a good shot, because you did not have any read, and you were like, even if the timing is good to defend that zone, you committed to that too early, or committed to that period. So that is the constant adjustment as the play develops. Let me remove that and that. If I'll give another example, if the pass is like straight here and the setter gets there, same thing, you're not going to just be waiting cross court, because now maybe if the setter is here, you might have to throw a back set, and maybe the hitter is gonna come that way. Of course, the blocker, we're not talking about the blocker today. There is another episode about him. I'll put the link below, and I'll have a what not to do series. So even if the blocker is properly set, then obviously you should adapt your position. It doesn't have to be a lot more. It does not have to be a lot, but you need to adapt to what the hitter is doing. You won't be covering, you won't be standing or creeping to the same spot, whether the hitter is attacking with that angle, oopsie, or with that angle. You should not be in the same zone. You should maximize what's likely to happen, what's easier for him. And let's say that is the approach he's taking. Obviously, especially for a righty, hitting the ball toward the sharp angle is now very difficult. Let me put some lines to visualize that. Actually, let me show that power hit zone. So now power hit zone, which is maybe give or take for a decent player about the cone in or the triangle in the pink. Now suddenly, of course, he cannot. Most people would not be able to really hit hard that side, but even short of giving a free ball, he may not even be able to hit anywhere here. It's just body mechanics. If he does, at some point there will be some cues, and it will have to be slow anyway. So in this case, I would probably be standing somewhere there. You see halfway, give or take halfway between this, halfway between that really hard to hit zone and the zone that the blocker is no longer the blocker is covering. So halfway there, and therefore any ball in here is going to be you're going to have a good chance to dig it. Even if he goes over the block, no, this one. Even if he goes over the block this way, let me take that back. If he goes over the block like this, let's say like that, if it's over, it might buy you enough time to get to a dig. Either way, reset position. Boop. Either way, as their play is happening, you should adjust accordingly. Okay, what is? And I had the wrong scene for the whole thing here. I had the wrong scene for the whole thing. So, and apologies for the little mishap on the wrong scene, and I double checked and it's actually not that bad and not too hard to follow. So I'll leave it as is, and I will move on to the next point, which is, as the play develops, not being ready for either a two-ball attack or a sneaky set over on two. And this time I will not forget to make my adjustment here. So let's say if let me shrink this. It is shrunk as much as I could. No, here it is. Okay, so let's just say this is the play. We have our blocker, and what? And what did I start? A two-ball attack. So now we need the setter to be a little more looking a little more threatening. And you know what? I'm just gonna do that. So even if your blocker is ready to defend against the attacking setter, the pass is high enough, and the setter, instead of setting, can decide to hit it or do a roll shot. Now, of course, even if your blocker is ready, doesn't mean you are. And if he sees you over there, maybe waiting for that cross-court hypothetical hit from the serve receiver, he may decide to just baby line or just a small roll shot over the block this way, because typically you will be too far to make a good dig. So in this case, especially if coming in and facing that way. Even if your blocker is taking that, as is pretty standard in a two ball, take the cross, you still want to creep up there and be ready for those shots. And if somehow he turns and he power hits and or loses has 100% freely rotation on this shoulder and can put the ball here, good for him. But the quick roll shot over the block this way is a lot easier. You don't want to give that away. Okay. What is the next point? Oh yeah, the sneaky set on two. Okay, sneaky set on two. So in this case, the setter is probably in good setting position. But let's see. Let's just say that the attack, the offensive team is somewhat spreading. They are not going to go and attack, or it seems like they will not go attack right next to one another. The set will be pushed. So even if so this would be the theoretical set, but in reality it's here. So even if your blocker is staying in front of that setter, the setter could still end up doing a back bump set, and that would end up here if he sees you really deep. This one might be a stretch. The blocker might easily get to it. But yeah, especially if the blocker is a little bit cheating toward the hitter, that zone on a back bump set or a back hand set. Let's see, a back hand set. So the setter is like this, and then free draw, whoop, sends it over there. If the blocker is already moved on, you need to be ready. I mean, I guess in theory that'd be the blocker's ball, but if you see your blocker already committing to the hit, well then you need to deny that. That's a free point for them if you're just camping at the baseline. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? We have watching the setter instead of transitioning into the hitter's approach. Okay, so this situation is a standard play. They will run a 3 touches play, but you're just not really paying attention to the set, the hitter's approach, and not adjusting, not making any adjustment, not making any adjustments. And by the way, similar to this, I'll just highlight that ball watching instead of also tracking the hitter. So you want to watch the ball, but you want to look at what the hitter is doing, and I will get the scene. So of course you need to adjust what you're doing based on everything that's happening. So if the hitter has an approach that is facing the hard cross or slightly toward the cut, you're not going to position yourself the same way. You're not just gonna wait here, because when he gets the contact, you'll be too late. You need to take whatever is easy for him away. So something like this. Now let's change the hitter's approach. Let's just say he's taking like an extreme, almost 90-degree angle approach. Well, where can he power hit? It's this way. So sure, the blocker is taking that, but even roll shots to the attacker's right side becomes a lot harder than a high line. So I would be partial to a hard line here. Sorry, high line. And make an adjustment to cheat toward that. Okay, what's next? Small app, and then text in big, hitters approach, standing in the standard zone instead of using available information. So we kind of covered that, some overlap with this. We can also use the strengths of your team. You know, if you're playing strengths and weakness, if you're playing with a big block who will just force a sky-high roll shot, well, then you can, of course, be less partial to the line because that blocker of yours is going to buy you time. And what else? What else did we not cover? Height of the set. Height of the set. If at some point the hitter has to look up, even if he gets a good call, he'll still have in mind what he just saw. So the blocker's position and your position of the defender. And he might still be able to power hit it, or he might want to put a roll shot away from you. And of course, the higher the set, the less likely someone can get a good contact and power hit it. Just because it's physics, the higher an object comes from, the faster it's going to land. So if it goes in front of you super fast, it's a lot harder to contact, and a shot is more likely. So imagine a sky-high set, and the attackers are slowing down. Now, you know, let's just say, okay, that is his approach. Well, I will take my chances. And yes, he can wrist away line, but easier shots are definitely on this side. Maybe a jumbo. So I would stay somewhere there and be ready to run. Because again, now of course, if his approach is not slowing down, then maybe be ready for a hard hit. So all kind of things need to factor in, not only your position, but also what you're supposed to expect. Okay, what's next? Oh, and I still, okay, I still didn't have the right scene. I should have been here. So what we have next? At near contact the ball, not considering what your partner is able to do and reach. Well, okay. So let's just let's see. Even okay. Let's just say this. Obviously, if your blocker does more than what he's supposed to, because the set is super tight and now he can just take the ball, then that's good for you. But let's go the other way around. If and let me change to the right scene, yes, like that. If he's even though he's supposed to block line, he's slightly off. Well, then suddenly you can see that you have a lot more court for you, so you want to adjust your position to be in the center of that whole court, or in front of the hard-driven hit that may be coming your way. What else? Let's see. What did we have? Not considering the state of the other team. Yes. So I guess it's a generic comment. Same thing. If let's say the hitter was coming fast or not. Um, okay, let's say it's slowing down and is likely to be a shot. Well, then, well, guess what? The short shots will fall faster than the deep. You will get other cues if his um, he may go he may not have the same arm swing, or he may not show the same thing whether he's going deep or short. Um, so of course, if you can get a cue from that, um, and also, you know, if the set is tight, then definitely short is an easier play than deep. Um, so if the set is off, you might want to force him to do a short shot and put more of a premium on a deep roll shot. Let me remove that. But if the set is super tight, then he can just knuckle it at the 0-foot line. If he's slowing down, you might want to cheat up and let him beat you deep. Again, depending on the cues you see. If he stays well below the ball, maybe he will jumbo you deep. Okay. Now, once the ball has been sent our way, well, let's see. It says not calling mine or yours. Okay, it's not calling mine or yours, so communication, and the communication will start with a read. Not calling mine or yours might just be the end of your point. Imagine the blocker landing. He doesn't know if you're diving for it or not. He maybe with the land step reach he has it. If you didn't say you, no one really wants to do that. Land, turn, reach, maybe punch you if you're right there. Nobody wants to do that. So as a defender, you need to be talking. So especially for those balls that could be potentially going for either player. Even if it's obviously your ball, like he's not gonna have it, let's say the other team sent a cut shot and you're getting to that cut shot, even then you want to say something. You want to let your partner know that you have it. In fact, I will also always say that the ball is up as I'm going toward the ball, because worst case I don't have it and the point is over anyway. But if I do, that way it will tell my blocker not only where I'm at, not only that he should be ready to set or at least chase it down, but then just by hearing me, not only he'll space me out, and of course he knows where I'm at because he saw the shot, so he knows where the ball's gonna end. But by hearing me, he'll also recognize that either I'm just, you know, walking to the ball and I'll be ready for a standard play, or I'm diving to it and he might have to do something else besides setting. Then he'll hear that in the voice. If of somebody diving is not the same as somebody doing a quick one step and for a free ball. So you want to be speaking. You want to be, let's just say you reach and let your partner know that he needs to come help you with that ball. Okay. What's next? What is next is, okay, so rushing the play. So I guess if you get a a pass and immediately get going when your pass wasn't amazing, and then the set has to be somewhat adjusted, and you already rushed into it, well, then you're going to have to give them a free ball or at least a roll shot. Or the other way around is just not taking advantage of what the other team's doing. And if they are out of position, not forcing a quick play either by giving a potential an option play, or even a ball that your blocker would have to hit. When I see the other team, let's say far from the net, both players, and I can control the ball, I will give a tight ball 50-50. It won't even be an option. It will be, you have to hit that, buddy. And I'm only doing that because that's not contestable. There will be no one in front of you, so maybe you can hit it, maybe you can dink it at the 1 foot line, knuckle it at the 1 foot line. Either way, you want to recognize what the other team's doing as or just after your dig. And if you don't, then you will let them optimize their defense, and your dig might be just all for nothing. Is there anything I could say to wrap this up? Yeah, so I'll insist on this. As the play develops, you want to adjust. You want to constantly adjust where you're at. I don't know if it's a good analogy, but I've played golf a long time ago, and when you're approaching, when you're about to hit your shot, you see, and I did that too. I slightly adjust my stepping, my foot position, because there is always a slightly better spot to be in, and it doesn't have to be much, but you want to do that. And probably the other thing is, once the other team has played their offense, and even if you have a small percentage of chance to bring it back, you want to tell your blocker that it's up, and he better be ready either to set or to help you chase it down. So constant adjusting, communication, and yes, as I'm saying that, I can hear that yes, maybe sometimes you want to do some baiting. Let's say you want to do some baiting. Let me reset. And you want, let's say, even you want to do some baiting, and pretend that you're going to be here and then move, or pretend to move and stay. There's all kind of baits you can throw. But unless you want to do some baiting, and you better have a plan what kind of baiting you want to do, you need to adjust yourself as the play goes. You see that extreme angled approach, you need to follow suit and play more to that hitter's angle. He's coming in facing the net 90 degrees. Okay, well then you want to be ready for the high line shot. All right, well, this will be my wrap up on this what not to do as a defender. And please put in your comments, like, subscribe, send me your millions, and we'll have more videos. Don't forget to play beach volleyball as a chess game. Thank you.